Hi, Mary Beth with Thorngren Studio Arts in our 17th episode. We're continuing the fall. It's a nice, lovely gray day outside. Tonight is Beggar's Night here in Wilmington. It's raining and perfect weather for Halloween. And it's also National Cat Day. Myself, I'm a dog person, not a cat person. But since it is National Cat Day, we are going to combine Halloween and National Cat Day. So here's our first image. Black cat pumpkins, very simple shapes. 8x10 canvas, already prepped with a gray wash. Now when you're trying to get gray, you've got, of course, black and white. You're going to add a little bit of black to your white when you pull those colors out. Gray travels very quickly. You won't need very much. I kept this very fluid, very loose. I did an initial sketch just to kind of map out where everything was going. And I'm going to do my sketch. And you can come do it along with me, get your wash on, pause, and then come back and we will start this sketch. Okay, so sketching this image, which you will have with you, I have black and ultramarine blue just to do my sketch. I've got a thin brush and I need my glasses as always, keeping this nice and fluid. And I'm just going to start right up at this top edge and I'm looking for the contour shapes, the outer edge. I'm not worried about the details. I'm just trying to get familiar with where everything's going. I may make mistakes. Don't be afraid of making a mistake. You can paint over it, or if you feel more comfortable using pencil, you can, redo your pencil lines, paint over those as well. Don't ever erase on top of a canvas. Not a good idea. Okay, so I'm starting right back here at this pumpkin way in the background, and I'm just going to go up to this pumpkin here, and I'm noticing my negative shapes. That always helps me, and I'm seeing where this is all lining up, and then down and around, and listening to my directional words, my verbs helping me show where the objects are and which direction they are moving, even though they are still. All right, this goes this way, comes around. Cat's arm here. Pumpkin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to sketch that in real lightly to make sure I get that round. Looking where that lines up. We talk about where things line up, this corner of this pumpkin here. Just a little bit of that cat's arm. Front paw there. It's about a triangular shape I see there. Looking for shapes, not looking for what the object actually is. It'll help me get everything on here. A little more water. Now this goes back. I've got a leaf right there, a golden leaf. Okay, look at that. I just got the outer edge. I did go in a little bit. Now I'm going to come back up to the top at the stem of this pumpkin. So where it comes down, right in the back part of the cat, doing my measurements, where I do a forefinger and a thumb, and that's coming off the corner of that stem. So forefinger and a thumb. That's probably going to be the back of the cat right there. I'll make it a little tick mark. Come across. Now there's that much space between the cat's head and the stem. I'm going to measure that. And I'm going to do a little tick mark. And that's where I know the middle of the cat's head is. Ears, simple shape, triangle, coming down. And it is kind of hard to see on this cat because he is all cast in shadow there in the blackness, but we're just going to get his face, the shape of his face, another triangle. Look where that lines up in the corner of this pumpkin. I'm going to do a little measurement. Okay, got that. Round it out there. Round it out. This part of this pumpkin is hitting right below his ear and right above where the roundness of his cheek is. There's a point there. All these things that you'll be able to see is going to help you be a better painter. Just where things line up. Now let's look at the bottom of his chin to the top of that pumpkin. Okay, so that's where my problem is. I got to make sure I get that top of that pumpkin there. And that curves down. Round, curve there. Okay. This comes up to his cheek. The paw, his front arm there. Now the eyes, distance from the side of his left, that would be his right, the right of his face there, thumb and forefinger, do a little dot. That's the corner of his eye. And then I'm going to do the corner of his inside eye to the corner of his, that would be his left eye. And I'm just going to do that, like right there. That's going to give me a point there. And that's going to give me where I need to put the other eye. Measurement from the outer edge of his left eye to his cheek. There we go. Got it. I'm just going to lightly put those in. His nose, his cat's noses are triangular like this and upside, or actually a V. And then you've got your nose, which is a little triangle. This part, mouth. Okay. Now in my initial sketch, I went ahead and did the inner parts of the pumpkin with my blue and black, and I'm not going to do that because it mixed with the oranges when I went to put on the color, and it kind of got muddy. So I'm just working in my outer edges at this point. A little leaf underneath his paw. Okay, I'm going to put my small brush aside, and I'm going back to the big brush that I used for my initial wash. It's rough, it's not a soft bristle. And I'm going to go back into this gray mixture and add a little of that blue and black. And just start from the back as we always do. And since the foreground is gray, and I have this already mixed up, I'm just going to go ahead and do another coat on the foreground, even though I start from back, the top, and work toward the bottom. You don't always have to be so rigid with the rules. I'll go ahead and place in some of those darker pieces up underneath the pumpkin, blue and black mixture, underneath this pumpkin, and the one in the back, under that leaf, and that paw going. Okay, put my big brush aside, and now I'm going to go into the back pumpkins Got a medium-sized brush, and I have some burnt umber, pulling that out, with a little bit of cadmium red and cadmium orange. It looks like a nice reddish brown. You could also use burnt sienna. And I'm just going to place the darker orange pieces where I see them. That one in the back is just going to be solid for now. Okay. Painting the direction that the object moves. And this one goes this way. Comes up. That's the middle part of where the stem is. This should go by pretty quickly. Always want you to have fun, making sure that you get everything covered, and then you can evaluate where you're going to need more detail. Work towards using a small brush for your fine details. Okay, I like this brush. I'm going to pull off the paint, give it a little clean. And now I'm going into some cadmium yellow and cadmium orange. I need a little more yellow. Add a bit of water to get that nice pudding texture, nice flow when I pull it out on my palette. Very quickly trying to take advantage of the wetness already on the canvas. Just placing it in very quickly. I changed up that back pumpkin. I didn't like that green back there. I'm going to keep them all the same. Okay, I'm going to pull off, and I'm going to smooth some of these hard edges, working quickly. I'm just touching the sides. Okay, now this yellow and orange mixture I have, I'm just going to add a little bit of white and pull that out. And place in the lighter parts, working from dark to light. Same thing, I'm going to pull off, soften up some of those edges. Okay, pull the excess off and good clean. Now I'm into the ultramarine blue and the black, and I've poured out a little bit of alizarin crimson. I'm going to mix those together so I can get a nice, rich, dark, it's turning to like a dark purple. Much better than adding flat black, believe me. And I'm just going to place the blackest blacks where I see them on this cat. Don't let him intimidate you. I know he looks scary, but just think of it as the pumpkins or anything else. Just look for the tones. Put the darks, the darks in where you see them. I'm going always go back in and modify. And I'm doing this very quickly. I know I'll have to go back in and really clean up some of these rough edges. Okay, there he is. Putting this aside and gonna get a new fresh piece of paper towel. And now I'm gonna go to a smaller brush. And I think I'm gonna try some of this lighter, the gray and the ultramarine blue. And for a lighter shade here. Just putting in the next darkest, working towards the lights. Notice this front paw is further out than this other one. If I took my, you want to make sure you get that correct. So I've got that angle there, and that's just out. I might have that a little long, but that's there. Adding a little more lighter hue, getting a little more white in there as I go so I can work towards those lights. I didn't even clean my brush. I'm just placing it down. Okay, I can see where I'm going to need a little more dark, so I'm going back into my dark mixture around the eyes and the got everything about where I want it, where I can start working toward my details. Save the eyes for last. Very small brush. And I've got the cadmium yellow and white. Let's go ahead and place those in. Now for the cat's pupil, you'll notice it's different from ours. It's more elongated. Take your time and you can just dot those in, small dots. A lot of modification going to happen off camera for you guys. This is where I really want to make the most impact of having you look right into those cat's eyes. Choosing your focal point is very important. And I'm going to just do a little tap of the highlight there so you can see. Oh, he looks scary. He looks almost human. Okay, when you get that nose in there, that shape of the nose, and I have a U, and I have it a little bit longer down there. And I still have to add in my leaves. When I go in for my cleaning up part, I'm going to take a small brush and make sure that all my objects are making sense. That this one is in front of this one, and you can tell because I've already added that light part and the dark part. All these objects working off of each other. Darker dark up underneath this pumpkin, real important. And then I'm looking at it and I've got the shape a little off, so I'm just going to come back in and redraw. That's another thing you can be doing when you're modifying, is redrawing. That's a great thing about acrylic. You can change it as you go. So happy painting. I'll post this again towards the end, and you will be able to see the finished scary cat for Halloween. And I hope you guys are all well and having fun with this, just like I am. Thank you. See you next week. Bye.